As a result, the outside world receives a biased, one-side view of what goes on in Punjab because the Indian government has control over most of the domestic media. This contributes to the stereotype that all Sikhs are extremist radicals who are terrorizing the predominantly Hindu nation, and that is just not the fact. If the Indian government has nothing to hide, it should remove the news blackout and permit outsiders into Punjab. The free flow of information is essential to the preservation of rights and liberties in a democratic society, and India claims to be the world's largest democracy, so they should act as the world's largest democracy. This is the foundation for a democratic nation, and it is not too much to ask of India to respect the rights of all its people, not just the Hindu majority. It is not right for any government to deny 16 million of its own people their basic political and civil rights. India has a moral obligation to protect the Sikh community.
This is where the army moved in and killed hundreds of Sikhs, including their most militant leader.
Or has she, as her critics allege, been playing politics with the Sikhs by tempting them to extremes so that their political...
On the day of the attack, I commanded a force of mixed groups. There were Hindus, there were Biharis.
No one knows for sure what's happening in the Sikh stronghold at Amritsar, because only government reports are coming from there.
Most Sikhs would say Sant Bhindranwala has made them more conscious of their identity. If he is an extremist, he is seen as being extreme in the face of injustice.
The Golden Temple is sacred to all Sikhs, and if government should move against the temple by force, most Sikhs would become militants.
Let's educate the Western world and let them know what's happening to the Sikhs in India. Otherwise, people will die in concentration camps and Sikhs will be burned on the streets of New Delhi.
The Sikhs feel they have not gotten a fair share of Punjab progress, and they kept asking the government to do something about it. They are only 15 million out of India's 700 million, so nothing happened.
Like wanting the city of Chandigarh declared the exclusive state capital of the Punjab. What these demands amount to is Sikhs trying to reassert their separate identity out of a fear of being absorbed by the Hindu majority.
They wanted a little more water out of the rivers coming down from the Himalayas. So they just wanted a little more Punjab for the Punjabis.
Indira Gandhi won the office in 1966. In 1975, she was convicted of election law violations and responded by declaring a state of emergency. She clamped down on civil rights, imposed censorship, and ordered involuntary sterilizations. Then she rewrote the Constitution to make it all legal.
Sant Janail Singh Bhindranwala. Sant Bhindranwala is a holy man, asserting the truths of the faith. What his supporters talk of is an independent Sikh state to be called Khalistan.
And, the government feared, start the disintegration of India as a federal nation. I have never, he said, initiated any attack with my tongue, or my pen, or with my sword. I only answer back or retaliate to actions initiated by the enemies of the Sikhs.
Mrs. Gandhi sent tens of thousands of soldiers into the Punjab for a showdown with Bhindranwala. Sikh fighters prepared their defenses.
The Indian army invaded the temple. They killed 700 innocent pilgrims to the shrine.
Bhindranwala died in a hail of bullets.
600 to 1,000 Sikhs were killed. Their sacred shrine was desecrated.
The assassination of Indira Gandhi threatens India with its worst religious violence since the early days of independence. Because she was gunned down by militant members of the Sikh religion, the country's majority Hindus have a target to strike back at.
Violence erupted in New Delhi and in other major Indian cities as Hindu gangs set fire to the homes of known Sikh members, shouting, "Kill the Sikhs."
These angry mobs, mostly young Hindus, want revenge, and they're taking it out on every Sikh they can find in cities all over India. Here in the capital, dozens of Sikh businesses have been burned to the ground. Roving gangs have torched hundreds of cars and buses as they search for Sikh drivers and passengers. Many Sikhs have disappeared from the streets, taking sanctuary in their temples. But even here, they weren't always safe. This temple was stoned and ransacked, its holy books burned.
The death toll in Delhi over the past 4 days was 438 people. 379 of them were Sikhs. Many Sikhs have also lost their homes. The government says more than 10,000 are currently living in relief centers and refugee camps. How the government will resettle them or even reassure them isn't known.
The government has censored newspapers there in part to shield Sikhs from the news of violence being done to their fellow Sikhs elsewhere in the country.
You are also saints and soldiers, and part of your religion is that you will always be armed, if only by a symbolic sword wrapped in your turban.
ਜੇ ਸ਼ਹੀਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਹੱਕ ਲੈ ਲਵੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਆਪਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕਾਉਣਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਅਰਥ ਕਰਨੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਪੜਾਉਣੀ ਆਪ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਮੇਥੋਂ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ ਜਾਵੇ ਮੈਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਦਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਪੜਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਇਹ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਕੁ ਪੜ੍ਹਦਾ ਸੋ ਹਿੰਦੂ ਪੱਕਾ ਹਿੰਦੂ ਬਣੇ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨ ਪੱਕਾ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨ ਬਣੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਪੱਕਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਬਣੇ ਸਮੂਹ ਪ੍ਰਾਣੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਸ਼ੇ ਛਡਾਉਣੇ ਧੀ ਭੈਣ ਦੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਲੁੱਟੀ ਹੈ ਸਰੂਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗਾ ਲਾ
you